Hey guys, how you doing? It is Scott Sheen here, coming at you. We're on a road trip up to Governor, and thought I'd take a couple minutes here and share with what's on my mind. So, choices. That's what's on my mind. Choices. You know, the choices we have day in and day out. You know, someone was talking about the other day, they were in the office and they were talking about how they had a bad day. And of course, the first thing out of my mouth, the first thing in my head, the first thing in my heart is to help this person. So I quickly let them understand that you never have a bad day. So guys, for you guys that are out there listening, life is about perspective. It's how you look at it, how you treat it. It's not about what happens to you. It's about how you react and what you're going to do about what happens to you. Because life is going to happen whether or not you like it or not. It's whether or not you're prepared to be able to react and come back at life or nature, however you will want to look at it. So I was doing some experiments over the last couple months. Of course, no one knew about it, just me, just, you know, the way I think, the way I'm wired. And I had to do it with alcohol. So I went out to the bar, the club, tavern, whatever you want to call it, different spots, on different occasions. It wasn't like a straight all weekend non-alcoholic binge, or was it all weekend just totally getting annihilated binge either. It was a 1 day this, 2 days. So I did a mixture of it. And what I found in the long run was every time I had a beverage in my hand, an alcoholic beverage, so a Coors Light, Miller Lite, Sex on the Beach, Captain and Coke, whatever it was, as soon as it was empty, I was already heading to the bar. And as I was heading to the bar, there came some choices. Am I going to buy next round? Am I going to get a shot with that? You know, because most people, bartenders, if you get a beer, would you like a shot with that? Oh, let's get a round of shots. Let me get that guy's beer. Let me get this guy's beer. So with drinking, it came all these other consequences and other choices that I was making based on the one decision to drink alcohol, which obviously is going to alter my mind, alter my process and my thinking, whether or not it's positive or negative. So as I went out drinking those particular nights, I realized that socially, we tend to, when our drink is empty, we need to refill it. And so there's that constant habit of getting into that cycle. You know, there was a movie, and you guys, I don't know if you know this about me, but I relate a lot of movies to life. There was a Percy Jackson movie, I think it was The Sea of Monsters, where Percy Jackson went on an adventure, a quest, I think they call it. And they ended up in one of these cities, in one of these nightclubs. And in the club, they were eating these flower petals. I think it was a flower petal. Don't quote me on that. But they were eating these flower petals, if you will. And then they were in there for days and days and days. Percy Jackson and the rest of them, they had no idea. But the petal was keeping them there. They were eating it and clouding their vision, clouding their mind. Because they were partying, having a good time, you know, losing track of time. But it was clouding their vision. So it was a perfect example to what happens in life. People get caught up in the bar scene, in those choices. They don't see it at the time, whether or not it's maturity, experience, you know, choices. You know, in life we can set ourselves up for success and failure based on the same logic and reasons. It's the fact that we're uneducated, or maybe we don't have the right information to base our decisions on. And some of us just make decisions just because they don't even care. This is what I want. This is what I feel. This is what I'm gonna go get it. So we can set ourselves up for failure even though we really think we're doing good. So my advice would be is to make sure we get the right information from the right people or the right sources so we can make good, solid decisions. So back to the story about the drinking. So on different occasions, I also went out and drank nothing but a Red Bull or a water or a Pepsi, ginger ale, whatever they had had available. And as I was socializing, just being me, crazy Scotty, out in the bar, playing darts, just goofing around, I was able to not. So as soon as my, we'll say, Red Bull was gone, there was no excitement to go get another one. There was no impulse to go get another one. There was not even the thought process of walking up there. Oh, I need to get another one. Two, make it a double, right? There was no impulse to go buy somebody else a beer or get a shot with that for the pure thought that I wasn't drunk. The alcohol was not influencing me. I had power over the alcohol versus feeling fearless, or not fearless, but being fearful that the alcohol has power over you. So I had learned that I had control over the alcohol. I had the choice to choose to not do the alcohol. Now, in the long run, and I have plenty of friends in AA, they would say I'm an alcoholic. I'm not going to label myself as an alcoholic because I make the choice to choose. I can go out and drink and still get home at night, get a cab, get home safely. There's no issue there. So it's not necessarily about being an alcoholic, recognizing it, because obviously denial is the first line of defense of saying that you are. So I really don't have an issue with drinking. It was just a social experiment that I wanted to do to learn about me. And that's kind of where the bigger, broader the picture is that what I've been learning over the last few years is the more I learn about myself, the more powerful I become. The stronger I become mentally, physically, emotionally. And it's a great humbling feeling when you know who you are, where you're going, how to get there, and who are the people that are coming into your life. And so all of this had to do with choices. That's what I was learning. Is like all I did was choose to do this experiment. And let me tell you, guys, let's be honest here for a second, or let me be honest. So I hurt my knee a few years ago, and they put me on some prescription drugs. I think it was Percocet, Vicodins, whatever those painkillers are. So after a couple days, maybe it was a week, I really don't know the time frame, but after a while, after the drugs were in my system, I was walking up the stairs in my mom's house, and I had no problem walking up the stairs. And I went from being in a car accident, I could not walk up the stairs without crutches, to now I'm taking the pills, and now I walked up the stairs without even thinking about it. I'm like, holy cow, how'd I do that? And I realized it was the pain medication they were giving me. So with friends of mine in the past, and God bless them all, but I just had to go to a different direction than hanging out with, those types of people once I found out. But there was one morning I woke up at my mom's house, and the first thing, as I got up to go to the bathroom, I wanted to pop a couple pills for the pain. I had not even been out of bed, and my brain was already depending on this drug, which was faking the symptoms or telling my body that it's okay. Or I'm not really sure how all that stuff works, but I knew it was bad when I thought that I had to have that drug. So what I did is I decided not to take the drug, and I didn't take it for a whole week. And I lived through the pain from my knee in the car accident. And I decided to go to the gym, just strengthen my knee and the surrounding ligaments and tendons and stuff. And continued to go to the doctor, continued to get stronger, and I was able to weed myself off the pain medication, and so I wasn't dependent on it. But I could tell from a person that does not abuse drugs, does not abuse alcohol, lives a positive life, I do, but it still got me. It totally had me on the alcohol, where I could see myself going down the wrong tunnel, the wrong vision, the wrong part of life. And then again, and I wasn't even doing an experiment on the drugs. I really was prescribed them. So, but boy, that ended up becoming another social experiment when I chose not to take it. And then I realized that I was in pain. And then I made the choice. Do I continue to be in pain? Or do I take the prescribed, they're prescribing them to me, this is what you need? Or do I take them and know that it's really just hiding the symptoms? And it's making me dependent on them. And I know from friends in the past that that's just not the direction you need to go in. So it comes down to choices. And willpower. You got to have the willpower. And I didn't really think of myself as a very strong person, not physically, but mentally. But I'm learning, the more I know about myself, the stronger I am. So, it comes down to choices, guys. Choices. And I just wanted to share this story with you this morning. I've been driving on the road here, and it means enough to me to share it with you, because I know for somebody that has to my knowledge, no addiction problems or alcohol problems or drug problems, because I don't do them. But when I did, it was totally sucking me in, like I had a 100-pound weight on my ankles, and I'm getting dumped overboard. I could totally feel myself going down the wrong path. I was able to recognize that and made the necessary choices, but not everybody has the ability to do that. Now, over time, not overnight, over time, I've developed a more positive attitude. So I realized that when I changed my attitude, my life started changing. So everything's been positive. So I want to share this message to say you do have a chance for greatness. You do have a chance for having a positive, drama-free life. But you have got to want it. If it's not been great so far and you're 20, 25, 30, 35, 50, 60 years old, if it hasn't been going good for you, let me tell you something. Turn your butt around right now, go to the bathroom, get your little a cover-up case? Ladies with makeup. Look in the mirror, and you gotta say, it's probably me. Don't be blaming it on other people. If you want to change, and if you want other things that are positive, I can tell you what from experience. I changed my life when I changed my attitude. Guaranteed. I believe that to the day I die. I would not have the people in my life right now, which is really, really good. I would not have those people if my attitude was the same as it was before in the past. So guys, God bless. I love you all. I appreciate you guys tuning into the channel and everything. Just make sure you click that button, subscribe. That button right there, right there at the bottom. Click subscribe, and we'll try to get